Call to order Parish of Ascension Finance Committee meeting, July 7th. Mr. Brett, can you do the invocation and the pledge?
Dear Lord, thank you for safe travel here, God. We thank you for the opportunity to serve Ascension Parish. We pray that you would bless this meeting and our discussions and decisions, Father. We also pray your continued blessings on the parish. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we are missing Mr. Dennis, Mr. Blaine, Mr. Turner. I think that's it. No chairs additions. Anyone wishing to speak on an item should sign one of red or green cards and turn it into the secretary now. All right. 5A, general business. Approval of a cooperative endeavor agreement between Ascension Parish Government and 23rd Judicial District Court for the Family in Need of Services Program. How you doing?
Stephen Turo, if you have any questions. Essentially, the Supreme Court has allotted us an additional, I think it's $42,000 or $43,000 towards fins. So we hired an additional employee to take care of any additional caseload and things like that. So the amended budget item for you all will just be supplemented by the money we get from the Supreme Court. So it wouldn't cost the parish anything.
Okay.
But that's what the amended amount reflects.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Chase, second, Mr. Robert. Any questions, any objections? Thank you, sir. 2025 audit presentation, Falcon Winkler.
Yes, good evening, Finance Committee. Tonight I'm here to present to you the results of the 2025 audit. The audit was wrapped up about 2 or 3 weeks ago, submitted to the legislative order last week on time. We met with administration 2 or 3 weeks ago as well, went over this data. Also talked to the finance chair about a week and a half ago, and then met with Council Chairman Melanson today, just to kind of give him an overview of what I would be reporting tonight. But you should have a slide deck in your packet. I'll just try to quickly hit the number side of things and then go over the reports that we have for you. On slide 2, governmental revenues, you'll see government revenues increased over 200 million for 2025. Vast majority of that is going to be sales tax at 89.5 million. That's about a 7% increase over prior year. Following that, in the green, ad valorem tax totaling 60.6 million, which is about 13% over the prior year. The largest reduction you'll see is in orange here is in intergovernmental grants. A lot of that was a reduction in FEMA reimbursements, and as well as the ARPA money. As we spent that ARPA money down, obviously we're recognizing less of it. So the grant funding has decreased year over year. In the other number, just to note, there is about $17 million in interest that we earned during 2025 in our investment portfolio. Next slide is the breakdown of sales tax collections. In the blue is the unrestricted portion of the 89 million is 43 million in unrestricted sales tax collections. Green drainage collections at 25.3 million. Then the other two sources for fire protection, right over 7 million, and then road construction totaled right about 14.1 million. Right at 11 million went to the construction fund. About 3.1 of that went to the Highway 30 Economic Development District as well. On the next slide, slide 4, On the unrestricted sales tax, basically you collect this in sales tax district number 1. It's then dispersed to on an as-needed basis. First up in the blue is fund general funds. That's the fund administration, and also your mandated costs such as district attorney's office and other legal offices in the parish. Secondarily, 5.6 million went to the Road and Bridge Fund to support transportation efforts, and then 5.9 went to Recreation Fund to support recreation operations. Then 9.3 in the orange, 9.8 in the orange went to capital projects and required debt service payments. On the expenditures, not a whole lot of talking points here. Big thing here is operational costs. You see, even though inflation has spiked in recent years, while costs have increased, they've really increased by a marginal amount year over year. Just shows from an administrative standpoint that you're really monitoring and maintaining costs at an appropriate level for your day-to-day operations. Debt service has basically stayed flat year over year, as that's all on scheduled payments. And then about 23% of your total 165 or so in spending is related to capital projects. So investing a lot of money, over 40 million, almost 42 million in capital projects for 2025. And cash and investment balances. So this graph breaks down the cash as to what it can be utilized for. You see in the blue, under 50 million is really discretionary in nature, which that really what management or administration can control their spending on or determine their spending on. The remainder of the cash, it has some type of restriction related to it. So it has based upon either a state law, a local ordinance, or a ballot that it has to be used for certain purposes. So you've got about $131 million that is related to operating funds, so that's mainly your special revenue funds. And then on your capital outlay funds in red, there's about 213 million in those restricted cash and investment accounts. And then on the last slide, this is just a breakdown of your fund balance, breaking it down by major function really, and it'll. Just as the cash is broken down, you see that it's broken down by either unrestricted, committed, or restricted, and you have the various types of restrictions listed in there for the major funds. But in your general fund and sales and use tax fund, which is your basically your reserve funds, right at about $53.5 million on hand. 2 committed funds, recreation and jail. Right at about 12.4 million. So these 2 funds have no dedicated funding sources. So they're mainly funded either by charges for services or mainly sales and use tax number 1 funding. Following that, you have the restricted funds. Won't get into detail, but fund balances totaling right at 150 million unrestricted funds that are operational in nature. And then capital outlay and debt service right at 200 million in fund balance, ending your total governmental funds at about 413 million in fund balance. Any questions on the numbers part of it? The next slide, slide 8, it shows the various procedures we do as we come in and do the audit of the financial statements. So the audit, it not only verifies balances and revenues, but also there's a lot of compliance with local laws and regulations that we test during our processes and procedures. Just wanted to kind of give you an idea of all that we look at outside of just verifying that the dollars on the paper are accurate. So a lot that goes into it besides just the accounting side. On the last page, it summarizes the results of our audit reports. I do not have the bound packets tonight. They are with the printer at this point in time, being that we just issued last week. I should have them for you at your next full council meeting on the 17th. When you do get the details, I'd be happy to meet with you individually or take a phone call or meet up. But just to summarize what you will see once you receive the bound packets, on page 1, we issued 3 auditors' opinions in that bound report. The first is over the financial statement. There's an unmodified opinion on the financial statements, which is the best opinion we can provide to you. Basically, it says that your financial statements have no material errors in them, and they're fairly stated. The second report, internal control over financial reporting and compliance with governmental auditing standards. There are two items reported under this report, which I'll get to in just a second. And then the third report is compliance for major federal grant programs. So when a government or nonprofit agency hits $1 million in federal awards, they're required to get a special audit under the uniform guidance, which is determined by the federal government. So you pretty much have one of these every single year, but it is an additional report that we issue over federal grant programs. There is one finding related to that program which did cause us to provide a qualified opinion over the FEMA Public Assistance Grant Program, and I'll into detail with that. So basically, in your public assistance grants, that's typically whenever FEMA reimburses you for costs you've incurred during some disaster, whether that be a flood, a storm, or something of that nature. Basically, in this case, you got reimbursed for some payroll cost. One of the requirements we had to do was match up what we claimed to FEMA against what time records told us people worked. There were some discrepancies in those records between what we claimed and what actual time cards stated. There are question costs in there of approximately $61,700. Basically, what we had to do was, as we went through the individual dates of the time records, there were a number of discrepancies that were found, and we had to extrapolate what the difference was between what we got reimbursed and what we thought the parish should have got reimbursed. Currently, administration is working to correct this matter, working with FEMA and also others that have helped assist you making these claims. So action has been taken in order to get this straightened up. The second reportable item, this is related to a payroll matter with Fire District Number 3. Basically, as we were testing payroll, we identified some instances where there were some employees that were overpaid based upon their approved rates and the policies of the fire district. The total excess payments are estimated to be about $206,000. That goes all the way back to 2006. We actually went to the beginning of the fire district at the fire board's request and looked at all of those records. So that, in our opinion, is a compliance matter with advancement, donation, or loans of public funds, which you can't do under state law. So that is also being reported in this audit report. Other than that, nothing else to report on current year. In terms of prior year findings, there were 3 findings last year. One accounting related, reconciling of revenues, which we considered resolved. One related to federally funded disposition of assets, which was resolved. And also there was a misappropriation finding last year that we considered resolved. So with that, I'll open the floor if you have any questions.
Any question?
I have one.
Ms. Payne?
You said on the fire district 3, did I understand that it went back to 2006?
That's correct.
Okay, did it show up any prior reports?
No, it did not. So as we reviewed payroll records, I can say personally, reviewing payroll records back to 2004, we had found no discrepancy in approved pay rates to what was paid to individuals. In the case, when it was brought to our attention and we went back and dug deeper, payroll approved rates are submitted to the parish administration by the fire districts. The fire district's administration has a calculation and a step pay scale that they are to follow based upon their policy. There were some errors in those calculations and how people moved up and down that step table that caused the errors. The rates that were submitted to parish administration were what people got paid, but there was a disconnect between the calculation and what was submitted to parish administration.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
The records the parish had matched what was paid.
Right, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
C, approval of a renewal of participation agreement with St. Bernard Parish Sheriff for housing 6 male juveniles. Cost to provider shall be per the fee schedule.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Chase, second, Mr. Tide. Any questions, any objections? To the council. D, approval of a resolution to allow Capital Area Finance Authority to offer their bond programs and additional to their current grant programs to citizens looking to purchase homes in Ascension Parish. Motion, Ms. Pam, second, Mr. Chase. Any questions, any objections? You got a question? Sent to council. E, approval to accept the FY 2026 Emergency Management Performance Grant in the amount of $63,960.22, and to authorize Parish President Clint Whitmore to sign and execute all documents pertaining to this application and/or Dawn Caballero, CFO, for financial documents. Motion, Mr. Chase, second, Mr. Todd. Any questions? Any objections? Send to council. F, approval of a renewal of legal services contract with Butler Snow LLP to represent the parish in legal services in connection with proposed creation of infrastructure development districts and/or economic development districts. The compensation to the provider shall not exceed $70,000.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Chase. Was that Oliver?
We got any questions?
Oh, yeah, question?
Yeah.
That thing ain't lit up.
This covers the whole parish or this,
Yes, I mean, it's for general legal services with reference to either economic development districts or the infrastructure development.
okay, because I know we have the 30 and then we have the other one, so this is for everyone.
Yeah,
The whole-
and
okay.
I mean, this is just general, if things come up that we need to call them in for, that's what we will do.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Any other questions? Entertain a second.
I'll second it.
I thought you first. All right,
Oh, yeah, I did make the motion. Won't you second it, OJ?
second, Mr. Brett. Thank you. G, approval of the contract renewal with Westwood Professional Services, Inc. for engineering review agency services. This renewal is effective July 7th, 2026, and shall have a term of 1 year in the amount of $564,500. Motion, Ms. Pam. Second, Mr. Joel. Any questions?
I do have a
Mr. Chase has a question.
I'm just gonna ask, so are we moving away from CSRS on the ERA?
No, that CSRS was bought out by Westwood last
Oh.
year, and it's the same company, and they're providing the same service, it's just under a different name.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any objections? Send to council. H, approval of change order number 10 DOTD change order number 11 to Richard Price Contracting Company, LLC, for the Church Point Road and Roddy Road Roundabout Project in the Move Ascension Program, Project H.006459, to provide reconciliation of final quantities for the associated cost of asphalt adjustment. This change order will increase the contract amount by $206.36 for a new total contract amount of $2,001,449.79. Motion, Mr. Todd, second, Mr. Joel. Any questions? Any objection? Aye. Approval of amendment number 3 for the Move Ascension contracts with the following firms: All South Consulting Engineers, LLC, Buckhart Horn, Inc., Crescent Engineering and Mapping, LLC, Evans Graves Engineers, Inc., Forte and Tablada, Inc., GEC, Inc., GIS Engineering, LLC, Gresham Smith, Hartman Engineering, Inc., McKim Creed, Inc., Neil Schaefer, Inc., Shred Kirkendall and Associates, Inc., Stantec Consulting Services, Inc., T. Baker Smith, LLC, Volkert, Inc., and Wagoneer Engineering, Inc., and amendment number 4 for Thompson Engineering, Inc. of Louisiana to extend the contract term to the August 18, 2027. For all of these contracts, the amendment also increases the contract amount by $4,500,000 for a new amount not to exceed $17 million.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Chase. Second, Ms. Pam. Any questions? Any objections? J, approval of amendment number 1 to master services contract with Corporate Mechanical Contractors, Inc. for HVAC maintenance and repair in parish facilities to add an additional $425,000 for a total budget amount not to exceed $925,000. This amendment is to ensure the funds through July 2027, the end of the contract term. Total budget amount may be shared by more than one provider. Motion, Mr. Joel.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chase. Any questions? Any objections? K, approval of amendment number 1 to master services contract with Dove Group LLC for HVAC maintenance and repair in parish facilities to add an additional $425,000 for a total budget not to exceed $925,000. This amendment is to ensure funds through July 2027, the end of the contract term. The total amount may be shared by more than one provider. Motion, Mr. Oliver. Second, Mr. Barnadoe. Any questions? Any objections? L, approval of renewal of master services contract with Delcon LLC for a parish plumbing maintenance and repairs. The total budget allowance is $250,000. Total budget may be shared by more than one provider.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Oliver. Second, Mr. Chase. Any questions? Any objections? M, approval of renewal of a master services contract with Superior Plumbing, Inc. for parish plumbing maintenance and repairs. The total budget allowance is $250,000. Total budget amount may be shared by more than one provider. Motion, Mr. Todd. Second, Ms. Pam. Any questions? Any objections? N, approval of amendment number 1 of master services contract with Everon LLC for fire and security maintenance at various locations around the parish to extend the contract term to December 31st, 2026, and add an additional $15,000 for a new contract amount not to exceed $78,120.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Chase. Second, Ms. Jen. Any questions? Any objections? O, approval of the Ascension Parish Professional Selection Committee's recommendation to select both respondents, Delcon LLC and TKO Construction Solutions LLC, for the mechanical maintenance support services RFP and to authorize parish president to enter into contracts. Motion, Mr. Joel.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chase. Any questions? Any objections? P, approval of amendment number 1 to the cooperative endeavor agreement between Ascension Parish Government and Bayou Lafourche Freshwater District to add the city of Donaldsonville to the CEA. The CEA is for the projects on the west side of the parish to provide potable water and improve drainage during heavy rainfall events. Motion, Mr. Oliver, second, Mr. Todd. Any questions? Yeah, Mr. Oliver?
The pump that we plan on putting on St. Patrick's Street, or this is the pump we have that do our potable
It's
water?
both pumps. One's going on 308, which is in Bayou Lafourche's right of way, and the other one's going on Front Street, which is gonna handle St. Patrick Underpass.
All right, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so we
big.
got the city right of way for Front Street and Bayou Lafourche right of way off of 308.
Okay, all right, thanks, that's all I need.
Any other questions? Objections?
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Contract report was emailed to the committee members ahead of the meeting. Any questions submitted should have been answered before the meeting. Any other further questions, they could contact legal or finance. 6A, finance reports. Monthly report of new positions added to the Ascension Parish Government Classification Plan in the month of June 2026. Ms. Megan?
Hey, good evening. So we submitted for June 2nd, the Quality Control Specialist 1, 2, and 3. So that is a developmental role, and it is a new position. Do you guys have any questions?
Mr. Joel?
What exactly is their role, and what do they do?
So what this particular role was designed for is actually to ensure drainage systems, including pipes, storm drains, detention ponds, anything that needs to be in accordance with strict engineering specifications, that quality control specialist is reviewing.
Now, that's just reviewing planned engineering, or do they actually review the sites?
They are also going on sites.
And is it something that they do continuously throughout, or is it a one-time visit? I mean, like after it's done and developed,
I believe throughout the duration
Okay.
of those projects.
okay, or so of the project.
I'm sorry?
I mean, I'm just asking if like it's something that's gonna be checked for good, all the detention systems, or if it just during the building of the development?
I believe it's through the duration
Okay,
of those projects, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Megan. Financial update. The report can be viewed at the link included on the agenda and follow up with finance staff or any questions. Motion to adjourn by Mr. Todd. Second. I'll give it to Ms. Yen on that one.